Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are tackling one of the most interesting and challenging dynamic programming problems often found in coding interviews: cherry pickup. This is considered a hard-level problem, but by the end of this video, you will understand exactly how to solve it. Here is the mission. You are placed in a grid representing a field. Your journey begins at the top left cell, and you need to reach the bottom right cell. Along the way, there are cherries to collect, represented by the cherry icon. There are also empty cells, represented by 0, and obstacles, represented by -1 or x, which you cannot pass through. The twist is that once you reach the end, you must turn around and walk all the way back to the start, collecting any remaining cherries you missed. Let's clarify the movement rules. On the first leg of your trip, going from start to end, you are restricted to moving only right or down. You cannot move up or left. However, on the return trip from end back to start, you reverse this. You can only move left or up. Remember, if a cell contains an obstacle, you cannot step on it at all. A common mistake is to use a greedy approach. You might think, I will just grab the maximum number of cherries on the way down and then worry about the return trip later. This is a trap. By greedily choosing the best path down, you might inadvertently block off or bypass a path that would have yielded significantly more cherries on the return trip. The two paths are dependent on each other, so we must solve for them together. Here is the aha moment that makes this problem solvable. Instead of thinking about one person going down and then coming back up, imagine two people starting at the top left corner at the exact same time. Both of them move towards the bottom right corner. One path going up is mathematically equivalent to a second path coming down. This transformation allows us to simulate both journeys simultaneously in a single pass. Now let's define our dynamic programming state. A naive approach would track the row and column for person 1 and the row and column for person 2. That is 4 variables, resulting in n to the power of 4 complexity, which is too slow. However, since both people start at 0, 0 and take one step at a time, the sum of their row and column indices must be equal. This means if we know person 1's position and person 2's row, we can calculate person 2's column. This reduces our state to just 3 dimensions: row 1, column 1, and row 2. At every single step, each person has 2 choices: move right or move down. Since there are 2 people, this creates 4 possible combinations of moves for the next state. Both move right, person 1 moves right and person 2 moves down, person 1 moves down and person 2 moves right, or both move down. We calculate the cherries for all 4 options and choose the maximum one. There is one special case we must handle carefully. If both person 1 and person 2 arrive at the exact same cell at the same time, there is only one cherry there to collect. We must ensure we do not count it twice. In our algorithm, if the coordinates of person 1 equal the coordinates of person 2, we add the cherry value once. If they are on different cells, we add the cherry values from both cells. Let's look at the efficiency. By reducing our state from 4 dimensions to 3, our time complexity becomes O of n cubed. This is because we have n steps, and for each step, we iterate through an n by n grid of possibilities. The space complexity is O of n squared because we only need to store the states for the current step and the previous step to compute the next one. To wrap up, remember these key points. Do not solve the paths sequentially, solve them simultaneously. Use a 3D DP state to save memory. Handle the 4 transition movements and be careful not to double count cherries when paths overlap. This approach guarantees the global maximum number of cherries collected.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.